Yo. Testing. Yo, are we live yet? Are we out? Are we live yet? Are we on live yet? I think we're on. Hey, sorry about that. Sorry about the delay. Getting a little late start to it today, but we're still gonna go hard at it and get in some work. Looks like we got a little bit of a delay. Hopefully the screen jumps back in. Come on, screen. Can y'all still see me? Are we still live? It says we're live, but I don't see any movement here. Hey. All right, cool. All right, let's see if this thing hangs with us. A little bit of lag and jumping, but we're gonna make it happen. All right. Top of the afternoon, everyone. We're about to get into this. So one of the things I want to say before we get started today, couple things actually. So we've been going at this for over a month now. That's crazy. A couple times a week for a month. A lot of good stuff that we can go back and reference at any point going forward. So make sure you're taking your time when you're by yourself to do that. If you need to get some direction on things that you can work on, they're there. Another thing that I want to note, and it's going to be apparent in today's workout, is that I don't want to say a flaw of mine, but one of the things that make me feel complete in a workout is being completely exhausted at the end of it. If you haven't noticed that from my workouts at the end, I'm usually pretty wiped out. And if you were here, you would see how much sweat is pouring from me. And those that know me and train with me and all that stuff are aware of that. However, I also want to make it clear that training is not always about exhaustion. Sometimes it is. You can get a really good workout in and a really good training session just repeating the techniques that you're working on over and over again, even if at the end of it you're not physically drained. And today we're going to get a little work going, a little bit of sweat action happening, possibly, but today won't be reaching that exhaustion point. So after today's workout, I encourage you to go out and maybe get in some running like that to get that physical exhaustion as a part of your training as well. So today is going to be highly uh, uh, technique related and not as much physical conditioning. But let's jump into it. If you have your jump rope, and also today's a good day to probably jump outside because we're going to be tossing the ball up in the air a good bit. But we're going to get warmed up so that when we start receiving the ball out of the air, which is what we're going to be working on today, when we start receiving that ball out of the air, we're not going to be uh, pulling any muscles, reaching and stretching, trying to get to that. All right. So here we go. We're just going to go a minute each in the jump rope circle, in the jump rope circuit. And we're just going to start with single hops. Let's do it. All right, today is your ball and your jump rope and a little bit of space. Also today, if we got any goalkeepers in the mix, uh, we'll have some stuff worked in here that's specifically for you. Get some goalkeeping reps as well. Let's go. Keep it working. Again, all we're doing is warming up this muscle so we can stretch them and then get after it on the technical work. A lot of reps today on our technical stuff, receiving the ball out of the air. Something that's not put up attention on, but those moments in the game when we have to receive the ball out of the air can be very important. Whether it's on the defensive side, where we're trying to receive it out of the air to play the ball out of the bag, or on the attacking side, where we're trying to receive the ball in tight spaces. Good. If you can keep we're going to switch to a switch hop. So we're going to go in. No, we're going to go front and back. So switch it back and forth on our hops. One foot in front of the other. Going back and forth. If you need to switch between, that's okay. If not, just keep it going. Hang in there with us. Thanks again to everybody. Showing more patience with us today. Start. But we're still gonna put in that, and we're still gonna get that work, and we're gonna build and we're gonna grow. Our heart rate's elevating a bit over this too. If you don't have a jump, just hit those jumps without it spinning those arms, just as if you have a jump rope. All right. Now we're going to switch to a sprint. So we're putting one foot up at a time, going back and forth, trying to get our rotations as quick as we can without losing control. Working on our turnover speed and coordination. Come on. I keep looking over because I got Jade on the side. She's working out off to the side. She's going to be jumping in here with us, showing you the keeper work when we get to it. Keep pushing, keep pushing. Hey guys, come on, keep going. Good. All right, so now the last one's going to be double unders. We're going to try to go under twice. All right? When that bell rings, let's see how far we can go into it. Let's go. Woo-hoo-hoo, that's burning. Let's go. Come on, man. I need you. Come on. Woo. I didn't make it. Woo, I feel that in my chest. Woo. That was the longest minute ever. Goodness. Still going. There's the time. Goodness. That minute never seemed so long. All right. Now we're going to grab our ball, get in some juggling, all right? Juggling. Continuous or just down and back to hand. So if we're getting started, we want to try to go down, back up to our hands consistently, right? If we're feeling comfortable then, maybe we can go twice and back up to our hands. We want to get consistency in the first touch. So it's coming back to the same spot. Then get consistency in the two touch. All right? And build on that. That's trying to go continuous when you're struggling with two touches. First three touches. We want that to be continuous. We want that to be consistent. And then we'll go from there. Look at that. Coach is tired. Ball going all over the place. Those double unders working. Good. All right, switching over. Gotta hit up the strong or the weak leg. Weak leg. At your own pace. Continuous or one at a time or multiple. Keep leave your gloves on. Leave your gloves on. I want you to feel that ball. Okay. I want you to feel that ball coming back up the hands. All right, this is good for our goalkeepers too. Not just the action of catching the ball when it comes back up on that one touch and getting a solid grab with our webbed hand, look in that diamond and trying to grab it there every time. Right, but we're also getting that technique of our punt and getting the feel of the ball coming off the hard part of the top of our foot, which is what we should feel in our punt. So, goalkeeper, you can slide in behind us. You can see you working as well. On everybody, so you're getting that work in too. Everybody know you're getting that work in too. Let's go. Keep it going. Oh, geez. All right, so that's why we're working. It's okay. Everybody's in their own place, working on it at their own rate. That's what makes this great. It's a great individual activity. All right. We're gonna switch to alternating. Goalkeepers are gonna stay with a single kick and back to hands, but they're gonna switch back and forth between strong and weak foot. Let's go. Alternating low. So we want to try to keep these below our knees. If we're not a goalkeeper, we're trying to keep these as low as we can below our knees. And we'll switch to alternating high. Just getting a good touch on the ball, getting comfortable with our touch. Takes a minute to warm that up. All right. And again, make sure we have some space. But when we get there, when we get to that point, we don't need a lot of space, right? Staying low. Our man Eli staying low here, but staying in the same place. Brilliant. Coaches back there getting it in. Keepers putting their work in. Low juggles. If we're just getting, again, just use this opportunity to go back to hands, using each foot back and forth. All right, now we're going to alternate high. So now we need to go above our waist, try to keep it below our head, but above our waist. Alternating back and forth. Using the top of our foot closer to our laces now, as opposed to closer to the end of our foot with our low jump. So the technique's a little different, the feel's a little different, control's a little tougher. Keep it going out there, guys. Get us focused and ready to receive the ball out of the air. That's what we're going to spend a lot of time doing today. Good. All right. Ball down. Let's get a quick stretch in. Give themselves a little bit of space. Legs out. Stretch to the center. Get a good stretch in here. We warm those muscles up. Now stretch them out. Walk your hands back as far as you can go without bending your knees. Good. Bring them back up and go to the right. Then over to the left. Back to the middle. Walk your hands forward. Both feet back. Calf stretch, one foot over the other. Push that heel down to the ground. And switch. And both feet down. Walk your hands back. Try not to bend your knees. Roll up slow. Exhale as you come up. One leg up. Same arm grabbing the same leg. Again, don't pull beyond your hips. Pull straight back and then push your hips forward to get that stretch on the front of our leg. So we're pushing hips forward, not bringing this leg further past our body. Don't want to tweak the knee, so we'll make sure we don't overextend it there. And switch. Good. Grow and stretch. Sumo or butterfly or standing butterfly or sitting butterfly. There's a bunch of ways you can do it. Here, you can get there, or you can go to a sitting butterfly like my man Eli does so well and get it here. We're going to go one leg out from a sitting. We're just extending one of our legs, reaching for that toe. Pushing from a standing. Coach Dillon has the example. Jada has an example. One leg, getting that stretch. Now we're going to switch that to the other side. And good. Any individual stretch you need, grab a quick drink. The extent of our physical activity, but it's work, it's done. We use it to warm up. All right, we're gonna be doing a good bit of moving still. Some of us be moving a lot more than others, chasing the ball around, but that's okay. All right, we're moving a lot less in today's activity than we've traditionally done, and that's okay. All right, like I said, it's not always about getting physically exhausted. A lot of times when I make a workout for myself, at the end of it, regardless of how short or how long it is, I want to be physically exhausted. In my head, that means I've worked and I've done and I've grown. But sometimes, again, it's not about that. Today is about the technical. All of this moment is about the physical. We'll get in off camera, get home and do some work there. A beat test or a 2 or 3 mile run, a 6 or 8 mile bike ride. Those type of things can help us get the physical in as well. All right, so when we get into the next activity, we're going to go 2 minutes with each. So we're going to spend a good bit of time on the repetition. If you if we move to something where you haven't felt decent about the thing that we were doing before, stay with that thing for an additional rep or round. Again, this is always here to refer back to. Don't push forward if you don't feel like that's where you need to put in work. All right. So if you're doing something strong foot and we switch to weak foot, you're not ready to do that. Your strong foot's still struggling really bad. Get it down with the strong foot. Feel some level of comfort with the strong foot. Then switch to the weak foot. All right. So here we go. First thing up that we're going to be doing is going from aerial to feet, and I'll show that as we get into it. So on our first one, we're going to toss the ball up and try to settle it with our strong foot with a cradle. Setting the ball down real easily. If we're not to the toss, just start with a drop, where we're just dropping here and settling it. Yes, even for the goalkeeper there, the goalkeeper just settling it with our feet, cradling it in. This one is one, again, that you can push your own level. If you're not comfortable here where we're just dropping it and settling it with the top of our foot with the cradle, stay there. If that's no problem, get a little toss. If that's no problem, get a higher toss. Right? The higher and the more movement that we put into it makes it more and more. And that's how something so simple can help us achieve different levels of our ability to do it. Right? Think about a keeper's punt, and you're that forward, and you're one to sail that ball out of the air, so you can turn and go at the other team. We're one to cradle right at our feet, so we keep it going, guys. Keep it going, guys. Again, put yourself in a game. One of the biggest parts of this conditioning, this individual training thing, is using our personal experience to put ourselves back in a moment where what we're working on would have helped us succeed. Right? So if you're a forward and you got that long ball from the back and you struggled to settle it, and all you had to do was settle it and go to goal. And you thought, man, I wish I could have done that better. This is our time to get better. Right? Switching over to the weak foot. Weak foot. Right? If I'm a midfielder, the opposite team has cleared it out. I'm playing the number 6 role. The opposite team has cleared it out of their back, and I need to settle that ball and go back forward with it and attack their back line again. And I had that opportunity in the game, and if I would have made that settle, if that trap would have been smooth, it would have been showtime. This is our chance to make it right. Let's go. What happened there? Sometimes. So, just had a comment here. But sometimes we do these things, and because we have habits that are built in with our strong foot, because we've done it however we've done it for so long, those habits cause us to struggle with a new technique or a new way of doing things. When we go to our weak foot, it's easier sometimes because those bad habits or those other habits haven't been programmed in, and we can simply focus on technique. So yes, sometimes that does happen, especially in techniques that aren't used often, period. Good observation, Jake. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, guys. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Give us a little more volume. Focus and settle, focus and settle. Watch that ball all the way down. Sit that foot out and settle. Well done, well done, well done. That's our cradle. That's our cradle. So now we're going to switch to a soul trap, right? So we're going to take the ball, try to put our foot on the top of the ball as it comes down, and settle with the bottom of our foot. So again, we can drop to set to soul, or we can go higher with it and try to settle it with the bottom of our foot. Woo. This technique can be used to settle the ball, but it's also a good first step. We're going to be doing next, which is settling in a direction. So we're just working on that timing, putting our foot on the ball right as it hits the bounce. And coaches incorporated a volley with that. You incorporate that volley as well, right? As you get more, do that. Volley it up, settle it. Volley it up, settle it, right? Especially if you have space. Work on that touch as well. Because my volley's going exactly where to, and then everybody has to settle it right back down the feet. Keep it going, guys. Keep it going. Love it. And it looks like there's some glitching action happening on my side of the screen. Hope it's not happening on your side, but if it is, you get the gist of what we're doing, what we're working on. Just keep pushing and keep working. Michael, I see you out there. Of course, Abby, see you're back. Love it. T, you're in here with us. Braden in the house. I can dig it. Keep going. So we're going to go weak foot. Same thing. Settling the ball using the sole of our foot on our weak foot. Hey, love it. Jonah's in the house. Let's go. Madison. Let's go. Let's go, Jonah. Hey, man. Hey, Yusuf's here. Let's go. Oh, Yosef. Yosef is in the house. Yeah. I assume Yasmin's in the house as well. If she's not, get her. Tell her I said to get after her. I know she's here though. I see her. Yasmin's in the house. Anna's here. Let's go. Gabby's here. Let's go. Hey, Adelaide's in. Just hang with us. I know it's jumpy. I know it's a little whatever today. Just hang with us and keep working. It's simple today. Not a lot of instruction needed. Just repeating the same activities. Let's get in that work. All right, good. A little bit more space so we can lay it out here a little bit. Movement in this trap. As it comes down, instead of just trapping it, we're going to use the inside of our foot to move it to the side as it comes down. So we're just moving to the side, coming back to where we were. Again, instead of trapping it with the sole, we're going to try to take an inside of the foot touch to move it to the left. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. On that bounce, we're just taking the ball out of the air on that bounce. We're trying to put it on the ground. Shot. Good, Eli. There's that ball. We're not putting our sole on it. The inside of our foot. We're not the foot to be turned in so that we're still kind of trapping the ball down to the ground so we can settle it and put it on the roll so we can turn that first touch into an attacking touch or into a touch with movement to get us out of a dangerous spot, right? Make sure we get that first touch out, the ball coming out of the air under pressure, and that panic button gets hit. Get back, and ball's coming out of the air. Oh no, what am I gonna do? Right? We take that first touch away from danger and put the ball in the same place on the ground. If we're getting started with this, I'm starting with between my knees and my waist, and I'm just dropping it down and taking that touch over, just so I get that feeling. So I here, and I'm just moving that ball nice and easy, nice and easy. I'm getting consistent touches. Good. I'm getting consistent touches in. Nice and easy. Get that feeling. As I get better, I toss it a little bit. And as it grows, I toss higher. And then I can go to where I'm kicking the ball in the air. Let's put it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Ooh, we put it. I might get this lower. I'm weak. When I was doing my strong, it ain't. Gotta start a little bit lower. Keep your eyes. beauty of this touch, right, again, is we have the ability to take it in whatever direction we need to in order to get away from danger. If that touch needs to send me directly to my right on my weak foot first touch, I can do that. If I needed to be an inside or inside hook turn, which gets me a 180-degree turn or close to that on that first touch, I can do that, right? I can take that first touch and go the opposite direction with it using the inside of my foot and put that ball on the ground. So again, repetition. Repetition. We're doing this a lot. We're doing this a whole lot. We're going to repeat each one tons of times. Next one is outside of the foot. A little bit of advanced technique, but we're going to do the same thing using the outside of our foot to push the ball away out of the air. Again, as we practice these, as we continue to rotate through these different ones, put yourself in a game, right? If you're a player that receives a lot of air balls, and I've talked about a couple of positions that do, right? Those forward positions that are farther up the field are backs. They want the ball out high and long, right? Those balls are going to be coming out of the air. We got to be able to settle. If we're doing that multiple times in a game, these two different settling techniques give us the opportunity to create deception. If I've received it with the inside of my foot 3 or 4 times, I can use that to then receive with the outside of my foot for the defender. And that first touch can make it work. Let's keep it going. Keep it going, guys. Again, we want to get some consistency. So we start low, and we continue to raise the bar to the highest difficulty is putting a good volley on it and settling it out of the air. Let's go. Weak foot. Working, guys. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Find consistency. When you find that consistency, then push your difficulty. And we've talked about that. Pushing our difficulty here is the higher we toss the ball, right? The less we make the throw. Pushes our consistency, our ability. Look at that goalkeeper diving all over the place. And if again, we apologize for jumpiness, but if really jumpy on your side like it is here, please just bear with us. Use your ears when you get a glimpse of what we're doing. Jump in and keep it going because we're doing a lot of repetitions. Love it. Hey, Jonah, I think I see you out there. You got 82 reps in the last round. I love it. I love it. Jada got tired of being the number one stunner up here in the front, so she pushed me up here. That's okay. I'm gonna go low and nice and easy to get these reps in for consistency. Try to hit the same part of my foot every time. Short, quick movement. Trying to make it good. I take that touch, I'm ready to go, right? I'm taking that touch and I'm ready to sprint off in that direction. Good. All right. So now we're going to move to our thigh. All right. So our first one is we're going to kind of pop it up on our thigh, get a little bit of height on our strong side. Just popping that ball up into the air. You can catch or pop and go to feet and catch, or try to pop and go to feet and go continuous. All right. So we're just your strong side. Strong side. Start here if we're just getting the feet on our thigh. We're popping that into the air, catching, pop, and catch. And we're getting a little more comfortable there. Then we can go to feet and catch. And when we're really, we can try to do those continuous. Good. Keep it going. I'm on level 2 right now, just trying to get that consistency of going to my thigh, then to my, without having to chase the ball all over. If you're at level 1, that's okay. Stay in level 1 and try to go from your thigh back to your hands without having to chase that ball all over your head. Keep it working, guys. Keep it working. Find your space, get in your zone, and let's get it. And I know, because I was you, a lot of these things that we're doing, you may think to yourself, why am I doing this? There'll never be a point in the game where I have to hit the ball off my knee and then off my foot and then back to my knee and then back to my foot. So why on earth would I be training? Well, here's the reason why. My fundamental, all right, let's switch to the weak leg. Switch to the weak leg. My fundamental belief is that this game is purely a design of your relationship with the ball and your relationship with your teammates. Right now, we can't our relationship with our teammates like we normally do in practice, but we have a perfect opportunity to strengthen the relationship between ourselves and the ball. We should be working on this relationship all the time. That's what makes the greats great, right? There's good players everywhere, all over the place, but the great players are building this relationship right here, even when they're not building it with their teammates. Working, guys. Let's go. Keep grinding. Do I have enough control? Is my relationship with this ball strong enough that I can get whatever I want it to do? And this is one where I'm trying to demonstrate my ability to do that. I am definitely stuck on level 2 with the weak foot. I cannot go continuous just yet. The coach has been doing this for a long time, and his relationship with his weak foot is still not strong enough to be able to go continuous on an activity like this. Weak, oh, continuous probably 6 or 8 touches probably. Eli just challenged me to a high, right? That's a way to see our growth. Again, the beauty of these type of activities is that ability to measure ourselves. I can do this in the yard today. I can come out and do it tomorrow. I can do it next week. I can do it next month. And that growth. Wow. These guys are going hard at it. All right. Next up is we're going to cradle on the thigh. So we're going to receive light on the thigh, cradle, and try to come right back up. So instead of this time as it comes in, and so our difficulty again comes in letting it.
When you bring it to the ground?
Yes. So we're bringing it down here. So here, down. Yes? So in a game, I might use technique if the ball's coming in to pop and hit a volley. And this cradle technique will be more for settling to the ground and maybe using one of the techniques we used earlier to settle it and move in a direction. All right, so again, for different opportunities, different moments in the game, your own personal experience to visualize times when you would use these things. And make sure with the goalkeeping, on the goalkeeping side, when we're coming back to hands, make sure we're using our proper technique and grabbing the ball and put in coming back to hands and getting a good, strong, solid catch and grabbing the ball. Yeah. If you have someone working with you as a goalkeeper, it's an opportunity as well where they can toss and that ball can be sent back to you so you can work more on the handling side. All right? And again, for goalkeepers, these first few we've been working on because sometimes we have to receive the ball out of the air from our teammates even as a goalkeeper. Right? It's not often, but every once in a while we need to be comfortable there. All right, we're gonna move to our weak side on the cradle to the thigh. As we move high up the body, we'll move more to hands with the goalkeeper. All right, let's keep it going. And we're talking about cradle. As we cradle, I want you to think catching. To catch something. If this ball was tossed at me, I wouldn't leave my arms extended and unmoving, unbent, right? As the ball comes in, I cradle that catch by bringing my hands down with the ball to bring it in securely. And I cradle in every other position, every other part of our body, we're doing the same thing. So my knee starts high, and I bring it down as the ball comes in and cradle it. Versus the pop, I'm bringing my knee up to meet it. So keep that as we go cradling, keeping that ball, slowing the momentum, slowing the pace of the movement of the ball, not necessarily reversing the direction of it. All right. So next up, we're gonna go to chest. We're at chest pop. So we're going to pop that ball up using our chest and go to feet and try to come back up. So again, level one, it's just starting here. Put it up with the chest. Trying to get a good touch on it there. Get a lot of reps there, but there, down the feet. So the pop is used for more directional chesting, right? And setting the ball up. One great example of that was James Rodriguez, I think, did one of those in the World Cup years ago. Ball came in high, he popped it up and then biked it. Techniques like that. That technique is used, again, to set the ball up for a volley of some sort. It can also be used to settle if you have space and time to settle a ball that's been popped up into the air. For goalkeepers, we want to throw that thing up, come up with a knee, catch that thing with our arms extended, cradle it in. All right? So we're throwing up, going up and getting it, and cradling it in. Trying to catch it at the highest point we can, and cradling it in. All right? So we're going to get a lot of reps there, because that's what you're going to be doing. Going up, sending that knee up for protection, and cradling the ball in, catching it at the highest point. Necklace, I got it. Good. Yes, Eli's got a great pop technique. Really good at it. I've seen him do that in the games a lot. All right, so next up, we're gonna chest the cradle. Sending the ball in the opposite direction now. We're trying to slow the momentum down to our feet. Keeper still working on hot leads, receiving the ball to the highest point. Bringing those knees up, get that ball up, and try to go up and get it. And ball. And again, the move in this is the opposite of before. Before, we're extending our chest to meet the ball and pop it up in the air. We want our chest to start out extended and then collapse in to cradle the ball in and slow the movement. Ooh. Now this is where Coach probably needs to work. Never been a great chest trapper. But if I put in time, I can become better at that. Just like you. Let's go. If you're by yourself or you're not, if you're that goalkeeper, let's get those reps in fully. A ball in the air. Keep going. Going up. All right. All we're doing right now is trying to form habits, good habits, positive habits that are going to help us succeed and let our body just take over and do what it needs to do when we get into the position where we need to use it in a game, right? So we're creating the habit with repetition, and if we don't calling for the ball, we won't do it in a game. And you know, if you're working with me, I'm a huge advocate for that. So let's make sure we're doing it. All right? Last up, head. All right, so if you're a younger one, back to one of the techniques. If you're U11 and go back to one of the techniques before. If you're not, and we're working on headers, we're just going to head and popping the ball up in the air with a header, right? Just going straight up with it, trying to keep control, hitting off our forehead, not the top of our head, forehead, right where my headband is, to pop in the air, getting some bend in our knees, and using our core to extend up and meet the ball to pop it up into the air, right? As we get comfortable there, we can try to go continuous on that pop. You get in a row on the headers. Let's go. Coach is going at it. How many did you get, Coach? Oh my gosh, I think my highest is like 10. And that's my pure highest, like of ever highest. I just got 9. Keepers, we're still receiving it. There's never a time where you're going to need to head that ball. All right? Hate to say never. Rarely is there a time where you're going to need to head that ball. Maybe when you get pushed forward, don't score in that last second goal but rarely you're going to get. So in this activity, I want you to continue using those hands, going up and getting the ball. All right, come with a bounce off the ground, then throw it up, catch it from above. All right, and the next workout we'll be playing off the wall goalkeeper, where it's going to be a little bit more extensive, but I want to get a lot coming in over the head. So let's keep it going. Especially the younger goalkeepers. Everyone loves to try to shoot it over the younger goalkeepers. So a lot of work put in there. All right, let's go. I got 14. I got one back here complaining about water. I didn't think we were going that hard, so it's okay. So now we're going to try to settle that. Instead of popping it, we're going to try to settle it. Use the header to settle down to feet. So we're not trying to send the momentum back in the opposite direction. Just settle. As light a bounce as you can get off your head. We're going to cradle using our head to settle it down the feet, right? So this is not an attacking or aggressive head. It's not to keep it up or push in the opposite direction. This is to try to use our head to settle it to our feet. And again, the question might be, Coach, why would I use my head to cradle and settle it down to my feet if I could use my chest or my thigh? I introduced all the different techniques so you can pick and find what works best for you. But in the end, we're not always going to have the luxury of letting the ball drop that low, right? So we may want to try to settle it from here because we're being contested by another player, and we don't want to just head it away just because there's someone close to us. If I can jump and receive that ball with my head and drop it down to my feet in traffic, brilliant, right? If I have the space and time to let it come down and settle it with my feet like we were doing earlier, right, I'm going to go for that first. But that's not always the case. That's not always the situation. And we want to be prepared for all of those situations, right? Keep working. Keep going. Got this. Come on, guys. Almost there.
Oh, my finger. All right.
Goalkeeper has it. Had a jam finger. It happens. Good. All right. Believe it or not, we're pushing closer to this thing. We're going to go back to juggling. All right. So we went through a whole bunch of ways to receive the ball in our out of the air. Right now, let's go back to juggling. We're going to do it low juggles. Alternate low. Let's get it. Alternating low. Let's go. Goalkeepers. Let's go down to one leg, back up to feet. Again, we're working on our punt technique and our timing and hitting the ball with the top of our foot and coming back up the hands. Now I'm going to see if I can go this 2 minutes without dropping this ball.
That got like a long minute.
Yes, we're going 2 minutes today. A lot of reps. A lot of reps today. Woo, my juggling is now than it was earlier. I like it. I think all the reps we got in and all those touches might have helped just a little bit. What y'all think, guys?
Yep.
Let's go. Below the knees, back and forth. Almost. Even with a little chaos thrown in, coach is trying to keep it going. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Oh. Almost there. It's got to be. It's got to be. Eli's still going. I'm still trying to keep it going. Oh, my goodness. Just like the double unders, that feet can't go. No.
Eli's the champ.
Hey, the student is becoming the teacher. I love it. All right. Now we're going alternating high. Alternating high. So we want that ball to come back up.
So on here, do I go on?
Yes. So goalkeepers, we want to send that ball and use that technique we were using just a second ago to meet the ball at the highest point. Stand and bring it in the up. Now alternating high is going to be tough. Let's see what I got here. Oh no. A couple of rough starts. Thirty-five. 35. I felt good about that. Man, that 35 run was the best I had, I think. Again, can we manipulate the ball at will? Can we do exactly what we want with the ball? When I want it high, can I go high? When I want it back low, can I bring it back low? All about that relationship building. All right, keep it up. Next up, squares. So we're gonna go here, here, foot, thigh, foot, thigh, foot, and a square. All right, let's do it. Yes. Almost. And one of the reasons I'm enjoying having Jada with us here today too is so you can all see as well. There's varying levels and we can all do it. We can all get after it, right? She played soccer years ago. Recently is trying to get back into it, taking a 4 or 5 year break from it. But we get in and we train and we go whatever level and whatever speed we're able to go at, and it's all good. All right? It's about you. And they sent the ball straight at me. It was about me just then. Right. I'm saying, show us, coach. Show us what you got. So here we go. I can't get too full revolution. Music stopped on us. Gotta have the music. We're gonna get that rocking again. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. How many revolutions are you getting? How many times can you get it to go around? All right, we're gonna take that. All right, we're gonna do our last one, and that's those squares. You can do those in opposite directions. Here's last. It's an old school around the world that a lot of people work on now, where there's a juggle and we go around. We're gonna do an old school around the world where we go up and around. So we go feet, thigh, shoulder, head, shoulder, thigh, feet. Can you do that? Can you do that? Because to me, that's always been the ultimate. And I've done it like my life successfully where I was under control. Now we're getting in that work. Let's go. Come on, guys. Focus. Focus. If you struggled somewhere further back, go back into that. Spend these last 2 minutes trying to hone that technique. Stay with the thigh. Stay with the chest. Go back to feet. Work on those headers. If you're fairly comfortable with all those, let's try to put it all into one round and go completely around the world with our juggles. All right, let's do it. Goalkeepers, keep putting in that keeper work. Yeah, keep putting in that keeper work. Get that ball up at the end. Go up and get it. Anybody got one yet?
I got one.
Oh, Coach Dylan got one.
Okay.
Oh, hit it. Eli got 2 in a row.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
Gotta beat that.
Like I said, the student becoming a teacher. Fantastic. And I was just like, am I actually okay with that? I absolutely am. Okay with passing the torch. I'm gonna keep grinding. I gotta keep pushing them. But guys, I told you today wasn't gonna be extremely cardio heavy. It wasn't, right? But you should still have gotten a little bit of a workout in there. Still be feeling pretty good from that movement. I challenge you now to go out and get some cardio in, right? Put in a mile run at a good pace. Put in some extra work, all right? Continue to tone and hone your skill, ready to play. We're gonna be back out on the field in no time, all right? We're gonna be back out there in no time, and all this work you've been putting in is gonna pay off. I can't wait to see it. All right, good stuff, gang. Hopefully, our technical difficulties will not last beyond today. I'm still seeing a lot of glitching and popping, but hey, we'll be back at you on Thursday. We're gonna continue to work this aerial control because it's one of those things. Man, I hate seeing players receive the ball with their shins. Right, coach, you send a pass right quick, ball high, and they try to put their feet. Man, we got to learn to receive that ball out of the bounce, out of putting our body in front of it. Step one, and then in step two, and we need to work on that. Good stuff. Hey, I see you, T. Got all the way around to your left shoulder. Keep it up, girl. Let's go. Signing off. Coach Dylan here. Eli, Jada jumped in with us to do some keeper stuff. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.